So if we can, those of you that are in my AP class, if we can put all other stuff away. So a couple of things. Don't feel weird, but Jose's recording me right now. So hopefully, do I look okay on TV?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's like, I don't need it to happen now. Those of you that are not in my AP class, right? Like I said, if you guys can just be respectful. If you want to listen in, you can. All right. So online, I posted this already. Okay. So here's the thing. With your essays, so we're going to start it today. But if you do this, so obviously today, those of you that had me today for Brown Day, we talked about chapter 6 already. Gold Day, we're going to talk about chapter 6 tomorrow. Okay? So as you continue to add to this, so you can either do it here, hard copy, or you can do it digitally. I don't care. That's why I posted it that way, but also so you can work on it today. Okay? Guys, it's not that big of a deal. It's going to be okay. Nobody died. Alright, so anyway. So if, with your essay, either the hard copy that you continue to do as you go through the next week and a half, 2 weeks, with your hard copy, or if you choose to do it digitally, because I posted it digitally, okay? If you turn in this pre-writing stuff with your essay, then I will bump your essay a full grade up from whatever it is that you get. Okay, so if you get like a C, so for example, like if you get a 4 on the essay, then it would be a 5. Okay, for doing the pre-writing. Alright, does that make sense? And obviously, you're down not to because we're going to start it today. Right, does that make sense? Okay, so I did it in the format of like breakfast, lunch, and dinner because that's what we've gone through, right? And it makes it super easy. Okay? So what I would like you guys to do right now, if I can get somebody for my AP class. So everybody gets it? So you can either do it digitally, so you can type it, simple like to type, or you can just continue what we're going to start today. Right? But either way, it's going to be something finished. So the day that you send your essay, you can submit it digitally, or you can just give me this in class, and then I'll bump your grade, whatever it is. Your first essay, the rewrites, I'm almost done with the rewrites. In terms of like the comments that I want to make, I always read stuff first, and then I go back and I add comments. And so I'm almost done. So I should have those to you hopefully by Sunday. It should be done. Okay, the rewrites, so that way the grades are in. A lot better for the most part. So anyway, so what I would like you guys to do right now, if I can get a volunteer to, hey. Sam in here? She's not here. And Francisco. Sam's not here. Yeah. D1. Alright, so anyway, what I would like right now, I can get a volunteer with my AP students, obviously because you have it in front of you. Somebody read the prompt. Somebody, thank you.
What were the economic, mercantilism, social, being treated like second-class citizens, and political, tyrannical monarchy, reasons the Revolutionary War fought, and to what extent did the war truly create a revolution to fundamentally change American society?
So, very basic, right? From the standpoint of like, what were the economic, social, and political, and I did it in that order on purpose, right? Now, you'll notice, again, that I put things in parentheses for you. Why do you think I put those things in parentheses?
So we know what you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, but we know I put those kind of as examples, right? So one of the things we want to practice getting better at, and I know that you guys did a little bit of this in AP World. Again, some of you didn't take it, but that's why we're doing it. Part of what I want you guys to get better at is not just repeating the question. Does that make sense? So it's very easy, and you're going to get at least decent points, right? If you just go, there were economics / political, right? You're gonna get those points still, because at least you have a thesis, right? But if we can be a little bit more creative with what it is that the thesis is going to say, right? For example, if we're saying economic reasons, well, we're going to know that it's things like taxes, right? Mercantilism, just in general. Let's get to the math, right? Well, there are social reasons why they're going to fight. Okay, well, what are the social reasons why they're going to fight? Because they don't like the way that they're being treated, right? Supposedly, yes? Then, the last thing is, what are the political reasons, right? Where overall, the overall umbrella reason is because they're tired of being under what? What they consider to be a tyrannical monarchy, right? So the reason I put that there is that so that when you think of your thesis statement, it isn't just economic, social, political, right? Again, on the AP exam, if that's all that comes to mind, then go, because you need to get going, right? But if we can be a little bit more creative, especially as we're thinking about becoming better writers, this is kind of where the path we want to go down. Does that kind of make sense what I'm saying? Can we specifically pick? But we have to be careful. Because if you said, okay, the laws that the British government was passing, well, that doesn't necessarily mean the taxes, right? So if you were to say the political reasons are just simply the laws that they're passing, okay, well that's fine, but guess what? Your paragraph only can be about the laws they were passing. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So in some cases it makes more sense to come up with sort of an umbrella sort of thing for the body paragraph, right? But it doesn't have to just be political. You can come up with what that political thing is. Thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay? Now, how many questions are being asked here? How many of you guys say it's one question? You're like, yes, it's only one question mark. Okay? How many say one question? How many of you say two questions? Okay? How many of you guys say three? Four? Any more than four? Yes, what do you think the two questions are?
The reasons why the Revolutionary War were fought and to what extent it was
Very good. Okay. Those of you that thought three, who thought three? Nobody wants to admit to three anymore? I didn't say she was right. I just said very good. Okay. Who said three? Who says four? Why do we say four?
Because if we're being asked about the economic, social, and political reasons, each of those is a question.
Okay.
And then there's a follow-up question, to what extent did the war truly create a revolution to fundamentally change American society?
That's correct. But in terms of umbrella, how many things are really being asked? Two. Irais is correct. Causes of the war, and to what extent does society change after? You guys see that? So causes is general. Because I could have just said, what were the causes? And then the actual body paragraphs would have been up to who? You guys should have had 7 body paragraphs, right? You're like, they're economic, social, political, religious, and they didn't like the cupcakes. I don't know, right? Okay? Scientific, right? Whatever it is you wanted to come up with. You would have had those body paragraphs. But I specifically targeted 3. Why? Because I just want you to get good at some of these body paragraphs. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean that it's always going to be 5. Because as we move forward, for example, essay number 4 that we do, I'm going to give you like 6 choices. Okay? And then from those 6 choices, I'm going to pick one. Maybe you'll pick one. We'll see. But it may depend, right? Some of the questions may specifically say 1, 2, 3, right? Or 2 or 4, right? Some of them may be a little bit more broad. What were the reasons the Civil War was fought? Right? Very broad. Then it's up to you to decide what those reasons are. Does that make sense? But it's still asking just reasons. Here, because I specifically said, it's still reasons why the war was fought. But then, that second part, the essay, for the most part, is why was the war fought? Why was the war fought? But that second part is the analysis, right? The war was fought because they didn't like the way that they were being treated as second-class citizens, right? When the British Parliament, when they decided that they were going to pass legislation where they're going to quarter troops, the colonists felt like that was unfair, right? That's a fact, yes? Okay, thank you. Jasmine. Yes, one second. The colonists, right? They were upset. But here's the thing. That's a reason why they fought, yes? Because of the Quartering Act. Does that make sense? I mean, that's not the only reason, but that is a reason, yes? But you have to be able to elaborate after and say, as a result, when they formed their own government, okay, they considered the fact that that was unfair and made sure that under the new government, what couldn't you do? Quarter troops. Do you see that? So after you present the causes, you need to be able to explain how under their new government, what was not going to happen? Right? They unfairly taxed. Under the new government, what were they going to look to make sure it didn't happen? No unfair taxes, right? Does that make sense what I'm saying? So you need to be able, when you present the evidence, be able to say, okay, boom, that's why. Well, here's what they wanted, here's what they hope would change. That's the analysis piece here. It's already given to you. But your thesis needs to be able to do both of those things. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Okay. So one of the very first things that we always should do is we should brainstorm. Okay? So we're talking chapters 6, 7, and 8 here, and obviously you haven't read 7 and 8, but the American Revolution, right? So what I'd like you to do right now, if you have something to write with, cool. If not, in your own heads, because obviously you're going to do it. We'll take 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. On this blank sheet right here, I want you to brainstorm anything that comes to mind regarding the American Revolution. Anything. You can't look it up. Just anything. Yeah. Anything. Go. 2 minutes. Is there a pause? Can you pause it real quick?